something I gotta tell you.
Detectors and cargo left. Maneuvering here must have been a nightmare. My stuff landed here. that a shelter? There you are. You okay? Seriously? That what you want to talk about? What the hell were you thinking? You got some guts to follow us all the way down here. Don't you get it? The party's over. I got the impression you wanted me to find you. Oh yeah? And what gave you that impression? The light? Why else would you bother with it? It's not for the rescue ship, is it? I wouldn't have made it through the sandstorm without it. Yeah, well, I was pissed at you, but leaving you out there to your death, I'm not that guy. You're going to die if you stay out here any longer. Anything's better than serving as lab-grown meat for Maxwell's experiments. You're right. It was a mistake to trust him. I learned some disturbing things about his project. To be honest, the man is starting to scare me too. Oh yeah? Tell that to Tabula Rasa. Your mistakes actually have consequences for others. Admitting to them won't take that back. So, you really want to stay out here? How do you intend to survive the sun? In the tour vehicle? Are you kidding me? That thing is good protection against radiation, but it won't withstand the sunrise. Only a proper shelter will. And this place provides the perfect terrain for one. So that's what you're building. Yeah. And it's no picnic, so why don't you get back to your base and just let me get on with it? That's a really stupid idea. You'll never make it on time, not without the infrastructure, supplies. Well, that's not your problem, is it? Don't you have better things to do than hang around here and waste my time? 'Cause you're right about one thing. Supplies are short, so let me just get on with securing them. Can I get you anything? I don't want any help from you. Just go. Okay? You're making things worse. Nice. I don't know that movie.
found the tour vehicle. Oh, so you went looking for it? Yeah, I wanted to confront my rebellious alters. Obviously, and did you succeed? I don't know. I talked to the technician, and I think they might need our help with supplies. What's your take on this? Should we help them? My take? Of course. Never do what you think you should do. Think about what you need to do, what your guts tell you to do. That's what matters more than any sense of obligation, trust me.
That's just stupid. They need our help, so why not come and get it themselves?
I found our rebellious party. They're alive. Looks like they have no bad intentions, just want to be left alone. What for? To die in that exploration vehicle? They're building a shelter. Oh, please, spare me the details. They should be putting those skills to use here, helping us, not making a sophisticated grave for themselves. Quitters. You wanted to talk about something?
Yeah. Thanks for checking up on me. I know you're dealing with a lot.
Yeah, so, why don't you cut to the chase already?
Sure, yeah, it's not that easy to say. I'm not used to doing so much thinking as I've been doing lately.
You really needed to sort some things out for yourself.
You helped me a heap with that. All I wanted to do was punish myself with all that extra work. I've wasted so much time. Not doing a single damn thing for myself. And now, who knows what's gonna happen to me? What if this is it? This is all the time I had.
I see. You're afraid you're gonna die.
Yeah. No use pretending. I'm scared as shit. But I can take it. I don't need you to cry over me.
So, what's your request?
Well, remember our art teacher at school and how he taught us to carve in wood?
I guess I might.
Not really. Well, I do. We were really good at doing it. The best in class. But what matters more, we loved doing it. I loved doing it, just for myself. After I lost my hand, I started remembering it, obsessing over it even. Of all the things I wouldn't be able to do, that one stuck in my head like a fucking nail.
It's normal. You were grieving.
I was miserable as sin. And then when you gave me that new arm up here, you'd think going back to something that made me happy would be obvious, right? Wrong. I wasn't interested in enjoying myself. Well, now I want to change that.
And you want to do something just for yourself. I get that.
In a way, yeah. But there's something else. It's way more important.
Oh. A secret project?
I really don't want to talk about it right now, okay?
And where the hell are you gonna get wood?
Well, you seen those tree-like structures in this region? They ain't made of wood, but they sure behave very much like it. I already did a test or two. They're harder, tougher, but so am I, right?
You wanna carve that?
If you happen to run into some loose pieces of that rock, yeah, I could give it a try. Of course, I'm gonna need a set of chisels, too.
Okay. I'll keep your request in mind and see what I can do.
Thanks, man.
But you're gonna have to tell me what that secret project's about.
Yeah, we'll see.
I found the tour vehicle.
You found the others? They alive?
Yeah. I talked to the technician, but he wasn't very happy to see me. I get the impression they're struggling out there. I was wondering if maybe we should share some of our supplies with them.
Out of pity? Huh. You think they'd want that?
You tell me.
Well, I think if I was out there, I'd probably want to live, yeah. But what about us in here? What if we don't make it? Maybe we should focus on that.
Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too.
Huh? Seriously? Huh. I can't believe you kept that old calendar.
Yeah, well, I still like to fantasize about owning one of those cars.
Yeah. Yeah. And escaping my shitty life. Hard times, simple fantasies. Thanks. It won't collect dust.
Hello?
Jan? What a relief. We thought we'd lost you.
Yeah, so did I. The base got caught in a huge sandstorm. and I lost part of my crew.
What? Your altars? How could you let that happen?
I guess I failed to make them feel safe enough. They were so uneasy about their future, and that business with Tabula Rasa didn't help. Apparently, they thought they'd be better off in that cold, hostile desert than in my base.
You mean they ran away? And they're exposed to radiation?
They took the exploration vehicle and some supplies.
Tell me not all of them left?
No. Why?
The ship is close, Jan. You have to be ready for the arrival of the rescue team.
Ready? How?
They can't find out about your altars.
What? But didn't you say that you would handle everything? And that nobody will care as long as I bring back Rapidium?
They might not care how you got the Rapidium, but confronted with your altars, they will have to react. The board will not tolerate anything that could cast even the slightest shadow on the legitimacy of this operation. And the rescue team is on their leash. Do I have to spell it out to you? They will have your altars killed.
What? Killed? What kind of a rescue team are they?
They're a special ops unit. Military men.
You could have told me earlier.
Please, Jan. You always knew their primary mission was to escort the most precious cargo mankind has ever seen. Did you really expect them to arrive unarmed?
So you lied to me. That you'd prepare them.
I told you I'd test the waters, and that's what I did. But there is a lot of pressure on your success, Jan. A lot of anxiety amongst the top management. They can sense the vultures hovering around them, waiting for any sign of a slip-up. And they won't let them smell blood. They won't expose themselves.
So what exactly is your plan?
The rescue team will arrive shortly before sunrise. You have time until then to come up with a way to smuggle your altars on board. In the meantime, you need to keep collecting Rapidium.
Yeah, sure. Once we take off, what happens then?
You will all go into cryosleep, and as the ship approaches Earth, Lucas will take remote control over it and modify the coordinates. The ship will land in a secluded location I've been preparing.
And what about the crew?
They'll be in cryosleep during the landing. And by the time they wake up, we will be far away. I have a lab ready, and a guarantee of immunity from people who understand. I'm moving operations to a more science-friendly region, somewhere Ally Corp won't get to us. And, most importantly, where nobody will ever find your altars.
So, you're really doing it? You're going rogue?
I won't sugarcoat it. We've come too far together for that. If you wanted to hate me, I probably gave you enough reasons by now. Truth is, when I first heard about you, your situation, I'd be lying if I said it all came together immediately. On the contrary, I didn't hope for much. An accidental castaway with no qualifications, all alone, burdened with such a responsible task. But when Lucas told me you did it, You created your alter and managed to convince him to cooperate with you? I couldn't help but fantasize about where this could go. Can't you see? I've been waiting for something like this ever since they shut down Project Ela.
Yeah, about that. I heard some disturbing things about your experiments. Is it true your patients... well, that they lost their minds?
Of course. That was the whole point. They were losing their old dysfunctional identity to gain a new, sound one. Whoever told you this must have heard some scraps of information and didn't have a full understanding of what we were doing. Yes, they were unorthodox things, but it was always about making people better. Project Ela was my whole life, Jan. Why would I devote myself to something harmful?
You never stopped dreaming about reviving it.
You wouldn't be so surprised if you knew what we could achieve.
Lucas told me you wanted to help war veterans, patients with PTSD.
Yes, that was the initial scope. But we could have done so much more. But take, for example, the possibilities of re-socializing criminals by altering the experiences that led to their corruption. But why not go even further? Why should we limit ourselves to thinking only about altering the past? Why not be able to influence the future?
What? How?
The Tree of Life. You've seen yours, but it's just a projection, a rudimentary interface. Think about it. What if it was no interface, but an integrated part of the human mind, allowing us to live our lives exactly the way we should?
The way we should? What? You mean, make the right decisions?
Exactly. The human cognitive system enhanced in a way evolution failed to do in millions of years.
I tried to do something like that. Using your upgrade, I tried to alter myself into someone who always makes the right decisions.
And? What happened?
I realized it's more complicated than that. That what I thought were bad choices can objectively be good ones.
Exactly. This is where the real breakthrough should happen. We have to be able to define a choice as good or bad by an objective, quantum-calculated analysis of its outcome in an instant.
Wow. That sounds completely unrealistic.
I prefer the term difficult, but Rapidium can help make it so much easier. Imagine a world where nobody ever takes the wrong turn. Children are never harmed. There are no court misrulings because there is no crime. Greedy and corrupt individuals never come to power, and because of that, wars never break out. Can you see now why your success meant so much to me? Do you not understand that giving Rapidium away for any other purpose would mean robbing humanity of its biggest evolutionary leap since we crawled out of the primordial soup? Do you still think there is a better purpose for your alters than to contribute to all that?
I'm not their owner. They're people in their own rights. I can't decide their fate for them.
That's very noble. But in a way, you've already done that when you created them. Look, all I'm asking is several weeks in a lab where I can run some tests on them, collect data, and prepare for the bigger leap.
And then what? You let them walk free?
You know I can't do that. It would be too risky for both of us and for them. but I could guarantee them a comfortable life. They would be hidden from the eyes of the world.
Imprisoned.
The only alternative for them is to be disposed of by the corporation, like waste. I think you need to take a breath. There's a lot to think about. How to smuggle your alters aboard that ship, for one. But first, you have to guide their navigator to your exact position. They'll need you to mark the spot with a beacon. Start with that, and then I trust you'll figure out what to do next.
Yeah, sure. By the way, I wasn't an accidental survivor.
What do you mean?
The quantum computer chose me. Seems I was the one who had the biggest chance of making it.
Well, doesn't that just prove my point? We are capable of so much more than we think, Jan. All we need to do is open the door and let that potential in. You'll hear from me again before the ship lands. Good luck, Jan.
need of supplies? What? Well, I thought sharing is caring, you know? Oh, man, you just don't give up, do you? Well, isn't that the pot calling the kettle black? Yeah. I gotta say, I might be able to swallow my pride just this once. It's gotten really tight. You're not a minute too early. Yeah, well, good luck with your safe house, I guess. Yeah, thanks.
Listen, man. We're not going back. Nothing can change that decision. We're staying here. We just need to finish building the shelter.
Only a few more things, and maybe we'll even be able to call it home. Man, I'm telling you, it's madness. Yeah, story of my life.
Like I said, no going back.
Yeah, but if you're serious about this caring shit, I admit there's one more thing you could do to help. Shoot. See those pylons over there? Took quite an effort to put them up. I got a list of resources that could really speed up preparations. If you happen to have any of these to spare, maybe you could just connect your infrastructure to these pylons and, well, send the goods over. It'd make things a lot easier. That big yellow son of a bitch is really making us sweat. Just saying.